Hey everyone! Have you ever wondered what's really going on behind the scenes when you're browsing your favorite website? Well, today we're going to pull back that digital curtain. We're going to uncover the blueprint of the modern web. The actual magic that powers every single site you use. I mean, think about it. You click, you scroll, you shop, you watch videos, but have you ever just stopped for a second and thought, wait a minute, what is holding all of this together? How do these amazing interactive pages just pop up on our screens? All right, to really get this, let's use a simple, but honestly, a really powerful analogy. Believe it or not, building a website from the ground up is a lot like building a house. You need a solid structure, you need some style, right? And of course, you need it to actually work. Just stick with me here, because this one idea is going to make everything super clear. So, if we're going to build this digital house, we obviously need a construction crew. But this isn't just any crew. It's a super specialized team of 3 core technologies. And these 3, well, they work together to create pretty much every single web experience you've ever had. So, let's go ahead and meet the team. Here's our crew: HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So, first up, HTML. Think of that as the framework of the house. The foundation, the wooden studs, the basic structure. Then you've got CSS. That's all the style. The paint, the wallpaper, the furniture, basically the interior design. And JavaScript? Well, that's the really cool part. That's the electricity and the plumbing that actually makes the house a functional, livable home. Okay, so first things first, you can't build anything without a foundation, right? And that's exactly where HTML comes in. It is the absolute non-negotiable starting point for any website. So what exactly is it? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. And here's a key thing to know. It's not really a programming language like you might think. It's a markup language. And all that means is that its job is to give structure to all the raw content on a page. Let me put it another way. A human body without a skeleton, well, it's just a blob, right? It has no shape. A website without HTML is exactly the same. It's just a big, messy jumble of text and images with zero organization. HTML provides that essential skeleton. So how does it do that? It uses these really simple labels called tags. These tags are just little instructions for your web browser. They say things like, hey, this bit of text is a big heading, or this is a paragraph, or an image goes right here. It's literally like a builder using a blueprint to frame out exactly where the doors, windows, and different rooms are supposed to go. All right, so our house has its frame up. The walls are there, the roof is on, but let's be real for a second. Nobody wants to live in a house that's just bare plywood and 2x4s. It looks terrible. So it's time to bring in the interior designer. It's time for CSS. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets, and its entire job is to tell the browser how to display all that HTML content we just put in place. It is 100% about the look and the feel. So yeah, if HTML is the architect drawing the blueprints, CSS is the interior designer who comes in after. It takes that raw, boring structure and makes it look good. CSS is what chooses the paint colors for the walls, the cool fonts for the text, even where all the furniture goes. And you know what's really cool is when you see a before and after. A website with only HTML? I mean, yeah, it works, but it looks like something straight out of 1995. Just plain black text on a white background. Super basic. But then, bam, you add the CSS, and suddenly that website has a personality. It's got colors, beautiful fonts, a slick layout. This is the transformation. CSS is what takes that basic blueprint and turns it into a home you'd actually want to visit. Okay, so our house looks fantastic now. The paint is dry, the furniture's in place, but there's a problem. It's just a pretty model. You can't flip a light switch, you can't open the garage door. Nothing actually works. To make our house a living, breathing, interactive home, we need to call the electrician. We need to wire it up with JavaScript. Now, here's where things change a bit. Unlike HTML and CSS, JavaScript is a full-on programming language. Its whole reason for existing is to make websites dynamic, to make them respond to what you do. The key word to remember for JavaScript is interactive. And the house analogy is perfect here. JavaScript is the electrical wiring in the walls. It's what lets you flip a switch and have the lights turn on. It's the plumbing that makes water come out when you turn the faucet. Simply put, JavaScript makes the house do stuff. So think about it. Whenever you click a like button and the number goes up right away, that's JavaScript. Or when you're on a map and you can zoom in and drag it around, JavaScript. Or when you fill out a form and a little thank you message pops up without the whole page having to reload, Yep, that's all JavaScript doing its thing. So there you have it. We've met the entire construction crew. HTML, the architect. CSS, the interior designer. And JavaScript, the electrician and plumber. Now, let's put it all together and see how this team actually builds the digital world we live in. And what's really crucial here is the order they work in. It's a team effort for sure, but there's a process. I mean, you can't paint walls that haven't been built yet, right? And you definitely can't install a light switch in the middle of an empty field. It's a core principle of web design. Keep the structure, the style, and the function separate. You always start with the HTML skeleton. Then you make it look good with CSS. And finally, you make it interactive with JavaScript. And honestly, these three are pretty much an inseparable trio. Sure, you can have a website with just HTML, or even with HTML and CSS, but the full, modern, interactive web experience that we all know and expect, that almost always relies on all three of them working together, just perfectly. Seriously, from the most basic blog you can imagine to the most complicated web app you use for work, these three technologies are the foundational blueprint. If you understand this trio, you basically understand the language of the internet itself.